All right, Osimhen Hojlund swap deal. You get? A tier one journalist known as David Austin has come up and obviously had something to say about it, and you people are really gonna be marveled about what he has gonna hate to say. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And this is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. And we're here to bring you what you people want to know about Man United. The international break is ongoing. United players are really doing very well. Rasmus Hojlund scoring a very beautiful goal yesterday as Denmark beat Portugal by 1-0. He really did a sue, and people were like, he was trying to obviously mock Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was like, please, I'm not there to mock. Victor Osimhen is representing for a country known as Nigeria, and he really was the first one to reach or to arrive in the camp of Nigeria. And the game of Nigeria versus Rwanda is taking place right now, and Victor Osimhen is on target in the 11th minute, meaning that these two are really in epic form in the recent 3 games, and United will have to obviously weigh in and really ask themselves on who to keep and who not to bring. So let's see close to 100 likes much on this video, and don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 21,000 subscribers onto this beautiful YouTube channel of ours. Now, Alex Crook was the first person to obviously come up with a story of Rasmus Hojlund and Napoli. There is interest in Rasmus Hojlund from the likes of Napoli. It wouldn't surprise me if Victor Osimhen comes to Man United in the opposite direction. So now he's like, there is interest in Napoli, and by the interest in Napoli is not really doubted. You know, Victor Osimhen is going to leave. The president of Napoli has come out and obviously confirmed to us that this guy is going to be leaving the side of Napoli, and when he leaves, they'll have to obviously bring in another player. Remember, they have a lot of money with them because they've just sold Kvaratskhelia to PSG, and now Victor Osimhen is also going to be departing the side of Napoli, meaning that they're going to be having huge amounts of money. So Alex Crook is like, I won't be surprised if at all the side of Man United goes for Osimhen and let Rasmus Hojlund go the other way. Now, tier one journalist known as David Austin, while on Sky Sports on what we call the back pages, came up with this narrative that went ahead obviously excite me, because I've been like speaking this, but people were like, maybe I'm really not onto the grip of really seeing this deal coming through. And David Austin on Hojlund Osimhen swap deal, he said, certainly an interesting proposition. I'm not sure how realistic it is. So he's like, I'm not realistic on how this swap is. He said, Man United spent 72 million pounds on Rasmus Hojlund. My presumption is they will be wanting to build him rather than bring in a much older striker in what would be a complicated deal. And this is where you obviously understand David Austin from, because Man United is bringing in youngsters, you know, and why would they go in for all grown players, you know, yet they want to build a team of youngsters, you know? And with Rasmus Hojlund firing in, you know, in the recent 2 games, one against Leicester City, one against Portugal, and the other one against Real Sociedad, where he went ahead obviously produced an assist. I think the best way to reward him is not by not getting him into the club of Manchester United and obviously showing him the exit door. So I believe when you let him off and bring in Victor Osimhen, it will take time for him to obviously get into those patterns. But I think this season has been used to see to it that these players get into the right patterns. And I think the narrative is obviously going to be changing about what people think about Rasmus Hojlund when he keeps scoring. And, when he starts scoring, goals doesn't stop, So, in the recent past, he has not been really scoring. He had taken 22 games without scoring. At the national team, he had taken 11 games without scoring. But after breaking that long goal drought at Manchester United, he was responsible to break that one at the national team too by scoring a goal that gave them a win against Portugal yesterday night. Then David Austin added that I do expect Osimhen to be on the move, given that Napoli let him go to Turkey and the future is really uncertain for him there. And United have been linked, but I'm not sure how realistic it is that United would let go of Hojlund. So he doesn't deny that Napoli are going to sell a player called Victor Osimhen, because if they had him in their plans, they wouldn't have gone ahead, obviously let him go. But they kept him around because they know exactly that. They let him go because he was not part of their plans. And the manager, Antonio Conte, was like, if a player wants to go, there is no way I keep him here. That's what the manager came up with in the recent past. And he's not realistic that United would let Hojlund go. So that's what he has gone ahead to say. And he's like, he believes that United are not yet to let this youngster go. Now, also, Austin concluded and said that he's one who would raise some funds, but he would not produce a profit on the book value, and that represents value that he represents. So I think it's more likely that United will raise funds from elsewhere, as attractive a deal as that might sound for transfer lovers. By the way, he's really right, and this is why I've always gone here to say I don't see this happening. However much I really love Victor Osimhen, but I don't see that happening, that let him go the other side and Osimhen comes this side and United does the top up, because going that side is already a loss. So United would want to move on players that they're obviously going to be making profit. And by the way, Osimhen is good. I love him. He's a very good striker. Erik ten Hag wanted him, but we couldn't obviously pay the 120 million euros in there for you to see it that it crosses from Napoli to Manchester United. But right now, with Rasmus Hojlund here, you're having Joshua Zexi, you're having Chido Obi Martin. I think the best option is let's stick to that. Let's stick to that, and let's get in the midfield. Let's get in like Ederson, and let's get in 2 other creative midfielders. If we get those 3-4 players in, I tell you what, we are going to be very deadly. That's why you know it very well that in the recently concluded summer transfer window, I told you that I would obviously offload Garnacho for Kvaratskhelia, because I know how good Kvaratskhelia is. You saw him be the difference into that team of PSG in that game where they knocked out Liverpool. He's a player that makes all the players that play around him better, and that's why I would at any day really get him at the club of Manchester United, because that's what we are lacking. Hojlund can score, Chido Obi Martin can score, Zexi can score, provided they've gone ahead, obviously be given chances. But the moment you don't get them chances, they won't really score you those goals. Look at that tap-in, that Rasmus Hojlund got and scored yesterday. You ask yourself, when was the last time a player in Rasmus Hojlund went ahead, obviously get such a chance to score the club of Manchester United? That is the most annoying bit of it all. So that's why I tell you that I'm really perturbed with this, and I know we shouldn't go this way, because there are more positions that United should first deal with before we even think of getting in other players to obviously come and represent for the club of Manchester United. So guys, your thoughts on David Austin drops huge Osimhen Rasmus Hojlund swap deal are welcome in the comment section below. Do you think we should get in Osimhen and let Rasmus Hojlund walk in the opposite direction, or we should keep Hojlund in here and don't even tamper with any of the 3 forwards that you're having at Manchester United. All else, keep Hojlund, bring in Osimhen, because Joshua Zirkzee has proven to us that he's really doing good in that number 10 position. Not so? So guys, thank you very much for watching through. That has been the first video of the day, and more is yet coming about this deal. I'm out.